Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another exciting episode of Trigger Warning Radio. I am your host, the Kaiju Conservative. So I got a little bit of news for you today, folks, that just kind of illustrates the new mainstream Democrat Party that I told you about a couple of days ago. Susan Collins, you'll remember she's the Republican senator from Maine who gave a very impassioned, very well-reasoned defense of her vote in favor of Justice Kavanaugh on the Senate floor a couple of weeks ago. Well, of course, that drove the left absolutely insane with rage. They called her all sorts of horrible names. They called her a gender traitor. They called her a rape apologist, and so on and so forth. And left-wing pundits and bloggers all over the place declared that she should not know a moment's peace because of her vote in favor of a quote-unquote serial gang rapist or whatever. So anyway, it seems an enterprising leftist has sent a suspicious package to her home in Bangor, Maine. Now, this was breaking news on Monday. As of right now, we don't have any information as to what was in the package. It seems that Susan Collins was not at home when the package arrived, but it's unclear whether or not her husband was at home. It seems like he may have been at home, or he may have arrived home shortly after the package was discovered. Either way, the FBI and local authorities are investigating it, and this comes, of course, on the heels of Hillary Clinton's statement that there can be no civility until the Democrat Party wins in November, basically until they regain power. There's not going to be any civility. Of course, former Attorney General Eric Holder, probably the most corrupt Attorney General in history, the only Attorney General in American history, by the way, that was found in contempt of Congress, he declared that when the GOP goes low, Democrats need to kick them. And of course, this also comes on the heels of massive Antifa protests in Portland, Oregon, where we saw a massive brawl between Antifa forces, the local Proud Boys chapter, and Patriot Prayer Group as well. And this also comes on the heels of Antifa essentially taking over downtown Portland in Oregon and directing traffic and basically acting as the local authority, all with the blessing of the Portland mayor. And folks, this is the Democrat Party. I told you this the other day, but this is the mainstream Democrat Party. This is what we can expect from them going forward. Oh, and by the way, I completely forgot. This is also on the heels of ricin being sent to the Secretary of Defense Mattis at the Pentagon and to the White House. Again, this anarchy, this violence, this has become commonplace for the Democrat Party, ladies and gentlemen. You know, ever since Trump was elected, the Democrats, they identified the extreme leftist base that Obama had helped build during his term. They identified that as their base. That was those were the people that were going to carry them into power and that were going to keep them into power, whether for whatever reason, whether they think most of the country thinks like their extreme base, or whether they see this violence as the best way to, and fear that this violence causes as the best way to get them into power and keep them into power. It doesn't matter. This is what the Democrat Party is now, ladies and gentlemen. They have appealed to that far left extreme base, the base that feels that it is appropriate to send ricin to the president and to the Secretary of Defense, the extreme leftist base that thinks it is acceptable to riot in the street because people are around that have opinions that you don't like. This is the same leftist extremist base that thinks threatening to rape a conservative woman is acceptable behavior, folks. I've said this for years. Ever since my blogging career started, I've been saying this. This extreme violence, this anarchy, this is only going to get worse. And now it has the blessing of some of the highest Democrat officials, from Maxine Waters to Hillary Clinton to the Portland mayor, who, by the way, just completely stepped away at this point. And let Antifa do whatever the hell they wanted because, well, we don't want to make them angry or anything like that. Folks, the Democrats think that this behavior is going to scare enough people into voting for them in November. But I got news for you folks. If you're thinking, I know nobody in my audience is thinking of this, because everybody in my audience is a hell of a lot smarter than this. But for anybody else out there who might be listening, if you think that the Democrat Party is going to stop the violence and anarchy after they're elected, I have news for you folks. It is only going to get worse. If the Democrat Party regains power, we are going to see violence and anarchy on a scale hitherto undreamt of. Why? Because they are going to take revenge on all the Trump-supporting Republicans, Trump-supporting Democrats, centrists, whatever. They are going to take revenge on all the Nazis out there. They have spent the better part of the last 3 years at least dehumanizing Trump supporters and Republicans in general to the point where they feel justified in engaging in any sort of violence against them. And now that this political violence has the blessing of Democrat higher-ups such as Hillary Clinton, it is only going to get worse. The only way to end the violence is to vote the Democrats out of office across the board in 2018 and beyond, and make sure they never get power ever again. Hey guys, thanks so much for listening. Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. As always, if you liked what you heard, leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Both those things help me out quite a bit, and I will see you all next time.